Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, is Tether out or is Tether in? What's it going to be? We're going to take a look at it. And guess what else? We got Ripple partner news that's going to make you smile. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content at the top of the screen. $2.59 trillion market cap. The market is up 1.7%. Bitcoin, 66,500 plus, 3,200 plus for Ethereum, 110 billion plus market cap for Tether, and XRP at the number 8 spot, slipping back down 1 on the market cap at 54 cents right now, up 0.2 on the 24 and up 11.5 on the 7-day. Oh, I like that. And ranging between 54 and 56 cents. We'll keep an eye on it, but I tell you what, I like the way this is looking. Strong like bull is how I'm seeing it this morning. Don't make me buy more XRP, because I did all this whole dip. I've been buying just all through it. Don't tell Mrs. Backup either, but I've been buying the damn dip. And at 55 cents, it's looking nice. Like, you know, maybe I don't know, maybe I get a little more. It's 2 for $1. That's how I'm seeing it. That's a sale, isn't it? All day long. Yeah. Look, we got a lot to get into. I can't get my needle stuck. I want to start right here because this really points to why I'm in this space, right? There's many people in this space for many different reasons, and they're all great, and I love it. But this is how I got in this space, and this is ultimately why I'm here, because of the problems you're going to hear Ray Dalio talk about in this clip.
Great. Hi, thank you for your time. My question is, do you believe there's an actual currency currently challenging the US dollar as the global currency? And if yes, which one would that be? Is there any realistic heir to the throne?
No.
But listen,
I think we are entering an era where all currencies are going to be bad. And it's an ugly contest. In other words, is it the euro? Is it the yen? Is it the renminbi? Okay. Is it gold? Gold is a currency.
that's right.
Is it Bitcoin? Okay. There's going to be a void, in my opinion, because of this nature of this debt. Debt is currency. If you're holding a currency, you're holding a debt instrument.
That's right.
And so, given the dynamic that we talked about, we have a debt problem, I believe, here. And so the question is, what is an alternative? A currency is a medium of exchange or a storehold of wealth. I think the dollar will remain a medium of exchange, but it won't be effective as a storehold of wealth. And so that's where we think, okay, what are the elements of a storehold of wealth? Well, one of the elements of a storehold of wealth is that you have to be able to transfer it to somebody in another country who will accept it. So it's got to move around, okay? So it's not a storehold. A currency is not real estate. Oh, so how do you and what will be accepted all around the world is, so that is what the question is going to be, I think. I think gold will stand as the best of that, but Bitcoin and others are going to, what are their issues? And we will be in a void as to what that is, because the basic problem is that you can't trust central bankers. I mean, they're all in a bind. They all have too much debt. They all have that bind. So who's going to withstand it? They compete with each other. When one devalues, if the dollar devalues, the others are going to want to devalue because they're going to be uncompetitive. So I think that's the nature of our circumstances.
That is the nature of our circumstances, and you can't sum it up any better why I'm in this space. And a part of that competition to race, to prove that you could be a worthy competitor as a reserve currency. That competition has already begun. Just like there was a 14, 15-year period before the US dollar was chosen as the world reserve currency, where it had to compete to become strong, to even be a contender on the list for a replacement to the pound. This is the moment we're in. And what I hear Ray Dalio saying here, that the US dollar won't be very good for a storehold of value, but it'll still work as a medium of exchange. Well, that sounds like hyperinflation in disguise, is what that sounds like to me. You'll still be able to use it to make transactions, but you won't want to hold it because it won't be worth a damn day to day. And that speaks to the larger narrative of stablecoin legislation being so very, very important because of what I've talked about building a new use case for dollars and treasuries to soak up the hyperinflated money coming back home to the U.S. because the world is moving to a new financial system because, as Ray Dalio just said, it's at the doorstep of all the central bankers, and that aligns with what we have said from this channel from day one. It was a real estate default swap crisis in the last crisis, 08-09. It is a money crisis in 2024, which means it is at the doorstep of the central banker, and they have no other means. Printing money won't fix it this time. It'll continue to harm it. That's why stablecoin legislation is so important to me. Here we see the current SDR is limited by the US dollar, and this is coming from a report from JP Morgan 2024. Abandonment of the US dollar as a reserve currency caused by a crypto challenger. Yes, this is a report right here by JP Morgan, which was not intended for the general public, retail distribution. Institutional, wholesale, professional clients, and qualified investors only. Yeah, how about that one? And here, inside the report, rapid abandonment of USD as key reserve currency. Sounds like what Ray was talking about. You could use it as a medium of exchange, but the storeholder value isn't going to be what it was, right? A challenger to USD from either crypto or an alternative fiat currency. Now, I think that the challenger will be the complement, and that's XRP. Meanwhile, the BRICS coalition explores creating a crypto stablecoin for global trade settlements. You have to wonder if Ripple may be helping out in that regard. Seems how they have so many connections to so many of the countries in the BRICS coalition. And I remind people, Ripple to launch a US dollar stablecoin, taking on the $150 billion stablecoin market that's currently dominated by Tether and Circle. Listen to what David Schwartz, known as Joel Katz on Twitter, says back in 2015 when asked about this question.
See, is it possible that just as the USD is the reserve currency of the world right now, against what a lot of people would like to see, is it possible that the USD could eventually be the reserve currency of the Ripple protocol, Ripple network?
It's certainly possible.
There you have it. And here we are watching it unfold, not in 2015, but 2024. Ripple is going to launch a US dollar stablecoin on Ethereum and the XRP ledger. It will be massive. Let's listen to the latest here from Tony Edwards from Thinking Crypto, who's got a new book out, Rethinking Crypto. Make sure you get that. And listen to this right here from Cody Carbone from the Digital Chamber.
You had Senator Kristen Gillibrand and Cynthia Lummis put together a stablecoin regulation bill. Tell us about that.
Lummis and Gillibrand have worked on stablecoin legislation for several years now. This is something that they truly worked on themselves. There is some discrepancies between this bill and the House bill. The way they regulate state issuers, non-bank issuers versus the House effort is different. They both tried to preserve the dual banking system. They added about 100 pages in this effort on what happens if a stablecoin issuer fails. I think if this is directly in response to some of the bank failures back in March of 2023 when some of the stablecoin issuers lost their peg. I think it signals that there is a real motivation to get stablecoin legislation moving forward now that we have a House product and a Senate product. Now all we need to do is get them together and get something enacted.
That's 100% on point right there. And shout out to Cody, who will be on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Don't mess around, ladies and gentlemen. Get your tickets before it is too late. Now let's do this right here. Presentation of Micah literally says the exact opposite of what you are saying. There is a contention moment here. And lo and behold, Elizabeth's right in the middle of it. Tether can meet the requirements of Micah regulation, which is anticipated to be enforced starting by the end of this year, 2024. To adhere to this regulation, Tether must thoroughly examine Micah guidelines, particularly focus on the definitions of key. Let me just finish the rest of this. Let me find my spot here. Starting December 1st, particularly focusing on the definition of key, such as transactions and means of exchange. Tether has already initiated adjustments to its compliance procedures by collaborating with regulatory bodies in European Union and third-party audit firms. These partnerships aim to furnish evidence and transparency regarding Tether's reserves, indicating proactive approach to regulatory compliance. So, now, coming back to, let's see if we can get this tweet here to Micah. Micah says here, Smoke Dog shares this, since USDC and USDTether are no longer pegged to the US dollar and their value is supported by other assets as well, technically, they do not meet the definition of an e-money token under Micah. So, at the very least, some things are going to have to change if they're going to be compliant under Micah, right? But that isn't all, because we know that also it has been referenced by Monica Long that Ripple has shifted its on-demand liquidity operations to USDTether or stable coins broadly because they don't want U.S. customers touching XRP while the case is still underway. Elizabeth publicized this change on social media and Long stressed the importance of using legally approved stable coins for future transactions within the U.S. But the problem is that is Tether technically a legal asset in the U.S.? That's the question, right? That's the question. And this is where the plot thickens right here. From XRP drops not long ago, last month. Tether, world's largest stablecoin with a market capitalization of more than $100 billion, would not be classified as a stablecoin under the proposed CFTC taxonomy here in the United States. Not to mention this guy talking about Tether being used for illicit activity.
Just last week, the Wall Street Journal reported how Russian smugglers used the stablecoin Tether to evade sanctions on Russia's war machine. Tether's a, quote, key step in the chain, unquote, of illicit transactions, one smuggler said. Close.
Listen to this.
Russia increasingly In addition, we've seen Russia increasingly turn to alternative payment mechanisms, including the stablecoin Tether, to try to circumvent our sanctions and continue to finance its war machine.
That is Deputy Secretary to the U.S. Treasury Wally Adeyemo right there. And Elizabeth Warren Plant, if you want to be more specific, right? So the problem is that, look, I don't know what happens to Tether. I've been saying this and asking this question for a long time about Tether. Does it get unwound? Does it get shut down? Or does it get forced under prudential regulation, as Elizabeth is suggesting? How do you make Tether, KYC, AML, and CFT compliant when they haven't been for more than a decade? I don't know. I do not pretend to know the answer to this. I know others do. But this is why I asked a question, a very real question here. Will Tether remain or will it be forced out? And if they did, wouldn't that solve a lot of problems for the Gary Genslers of the world who would love to see this space go away? Because if they squash Tether, the money from Tether could flee into USDC and Ripple stablecoin. So your treasuries are going to get used if your concern is the U.S. treasuries. They'll go somewhere. They won't be sold off and just fall through the floor. They'll just run into another stablecoin. So then the question remains from there, if they were to go after Tether to the point of shutting it down, wouldn't that get rid of 90+% of the crypto market and the only on and off ramp into those little piddly altcoins that a lot of people push, claiming they're supporting developers, but they're really just pumping tokens and just cloaking it with the idea that they're trying to elevate the space for developers, right? Oh, what a racket. What a racket it has become. We'll see where all this goes, but I tell you, there is still more to go here, because I have said this clearly, and I say it again today, because I think it's obvious from the conversation that's happening here, which isn't bad. I think we're trying to all find out exactly where Tether falls at the end of the day, because right now it's quite clear to people on Capitol Hill that Tether is on the outside of regulation as far as they're concerned. And isn't that who we need to be concerned about? I mean, with respect, I certainly appreciate all the people involved in this conversation's insights, Ripple included. But at the end of the day, it's the legislators and the regulators we really need to hear from. We can all sit around and talk about what we think, but let's talk about this. Ripple News, Ripple Partners. You know, Tranglo, just to remind you, going through this news as a reminder, Ripple partner Tranglo uses XRP in real-time transactions. Write that one down. That's nice. Visa and Standard Chartered collaborate to facilitate cross-border payments B2B. Come on in. Yeah, and both of those are direct and indirect relationships to Ripple as well. I love it. You love it. We all love it. Standard Chartered joins forces with them in that cross-border effort, and they go on in here to talk about how that relationship's going to work. It doesn't mention Ripple, but we know, as I can show you, a lot of people are new to the space. Visa acquired Ripple Partner Currency Cloud for $925 million back in 2021. That's right. They were preparing for the moment that is coming back in 2021. Standard Chartered-backed Zodia Custody joins Ripple-owned Medico Global Crypto Storage Network. All the connections are there. And then Ripple partner Thunes acquires Tilia to further expand into the U.S. market. It operates under licensing in 48 states and territories, provides payment solutions for a wide range of digital environments, including online gaming and virtual worlds. That's what's going on in the world of Ripple and XRP and stablecoins and the digital asset space broadly, and you know it right here. If you haven't gotten your ticket, ladies and gentlemen, we're now 8 days away. This is the time to do it. Ticket sales are supposed to go up tomorrow, but I have gotten so many messages from people asking me, can I just wait a couple days? And you know what? I'm hearing you. And I love you. And I'm postponing that. We're not raising the price. If you're going to get your ticket, get it today. I want all of you to be there. Get your ticket, but I tell you, it is very real. I may have to stop selling tickets based on the room size because there's other events happening around us. And I honestly, if I'm being honest, I am pleasantly surprised that we have sold as many tickets as we have, because I did not know that we would do that. Right? And it is a happy problem to have. And it is because everyone has responded so well and in kind to want to come. And I want you guys to come. So we are postponing the ticket raise because the response has been overwhelming. And you know what? I love you guys. I think you guys are amazing. And I want as many of you to be there as possible. That's what I want. I want us all to be there together because, like Ray Dalio pointed out, this is the moment we're in. And this conference is themed exactly around the topic that Ray Dalio, one of the largest investors in the world, one of the most successful investors in the history of the world, is saying is the theme of our conference. It's a new era of finance that we're moving into, ladies and gentlemen. And it would really be amazing to be able to meet you at XRP Las Vegas in 8 days. I can't believe it. Oh, by the way, special announcement. Future of Digital Asset Benefit Dinner. I've got a 25% off coupon, so discount code rather, so you can have private dinner and meet Brad Garlinghouse in person. And guess what else? Special breaking announcement. This just in. There's going to be a live band performance, and it's going to be off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have musicians flying in and coming in from California, and they are remarkable. And I will be performing on stage after Brad Garlinghouse's live fireside chat with a remarkable artist, Ronnie Nash, who is just absolutely incredible, and we are going to rip the roof off. So if you haven't got your ticket for the fundraiser, click that button right here and go get it, because when you click it, it'll take you right to the Future Digital Assets benefit dinner. And looky here. Look at all the great people. Brad Garlinghouse, John Deaton, Michael Arrington, Chris Giancarlo, Eleanor Terrett, Congressman Wiley Nichols going to be there now too. I'm going to be there performing. Digital asset investors going to be there. Mrs. Backup's going to be there. Listen, this is going to be a remarkable time, and this event will sell out. And I know there's only a few days left, and I tell you, there's not that many seats left either. So if you're coming, you better get your ticket, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're doing. I'll catch all of you in the Freedom Zone. Not financial advice to me or anyone else. We're going inside right now. Come and join us. Come on in.